Hi there, I'm Achie, speaker, coach, and entrepreneur. I'm also a wife and mom to the Seans, my brilliant hubby, Sean Sr., and my vivacious toddler, Sean Jr. I am a perpetual student to this thing called life, and boy, has life taught me some lessons. What I absolutely love is helping you to identify and debunk the limiting beliefs that cause you to hide from your awesomeness. It's time to reprogram your thinking. So settle in, get comfy, and let's girl talk. Just you and me. This is the I Am Achie podcast. So I have a random confession. And when I mean random, it's like a really random. But stay with me here. It has a point. My random confession is I am a stickler for recycling. Like, seriously, I am a stickler. And my husband and I have had very gentle disagreements because I'll go to our trash can and throw something away and I'll see a bottle or some sort of container that could have been recycled, not in the recycling compartment. And so sometimes I say, honey, you threw this box away or this bottle away and it should have been in the recycling bin or the recycling bag. We use a paper bag, a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's bag next to our regular trash can. And that is the bag we use for recyclables until they're ready to go out for the day. So he's just like, all right, like whatever. He just lets me do my thing. But I will even go as far as removing the said item if it's not like too deep and like gross, but I will go and remove it. And I will place it into the recycling container. Now, I'll be honest, and, if you follow this at all, you know that right now the recycling system in the United States isn't the best right now. However, I am still determined to do my part. I know everything does not get recycled as it should. I just believe that if I recycle as much as I can, it's more chances of it being recycled. Okay, listen, do not debate me on this. I am firm on my recycling. I don't like to waste things. I don't like to waste anything. And if something can be reused, repurposed, given to someone who can get more use out of it, I am all for it. And I also love quality thrifting. I love buying things that have been created with like recycled materials. It just makes me so happy to know things have extended use. And one day while I was meditating and my mind was just wandering along, I was thinking about the different stages of my life, where I've been, where I am, where I'm going. And I had an epiphany that God is a recycler. I know that sounds crazy, but seriously, God wastes nothing. Nothing in my life has been wasted. Every single heartache I experienced, every ounce of pain I felt, every mistake I've made, every time I wasn't at my best for myself or someone else, it has been used in my life for the good. It has not been wasted. And there have been lessons in every single one of those experiences. Even if I wasn't at a place to receive the lesson as it was happening, when I reflect on it, I'm able to gain a fair and useful perspective that I can apply to my present as well as my future. When I think about horrible things, even in life, everyday life, I think about natural disasters, even the pandemic we're in now, illness, even death. If you get quiet for long enough, you'll be able to extract the blessings and life lessons it taught us. We all know what we dealt with as a human race with this pandemic, right? Since 2020. And still going through changes now. And even though it was a really rough year for a lot of people and it was challenging on some level for everyone, okay? Everyone experienced some sort of challenge or change or inconvenience in some way, shape, form, or fashion. If you look back even through the unfortunate deaths, the unfortunate illnesses, the horrible things that we experienced across the globe, if you look back, you're able to extract some lessons from that. I think about when my mother passed away when I was 14. She was 37 years old. At the time, I could make no sense of it. First of all, I was 14. But second of all, you're just not going to try to explain to me why, I had to lose my mother the way I did with the type of illness she had as young as she was. Like, no one was going to explain that to me and me say, oh my gosh, you're so right. This happened for a reason. However, as I got older, as I matured, as I learned more, I was able to extract lessons from not only what her life taught me, but from what her death also taught me. I am who I am today because I walked through that at the age that I walked through it at. I strongly believe if she were still here, I would be a different person. Not a different person in a bad way, or not even a different person in a better way. I would just be a different person because my experiences would have been different. And the lessons that I have from spending 14, almost 15 years with her and walking through her death the way that I did and going through life and pushing forward and going on and persevering, my God, those lessons are invaluable. And it just showed me that life is always teaching. It's always teaching us. And everything, every situation, every experience, good or bad, has a purpose. And today's episode is to inform you, to remind you, to encourage you that no matter what you have gone through in life, if you are still here, it will be used for your favor. It will be used for your favor. Perhaps you've experienced or currently experiencing some level of abuse, neglect, abandonment, maybe experience like me, the death of a close family member or loved one, maybe a horrible breakup or divorce, some sort of unspeakable heartache, illness, financial woes, you name it, it will be used for your favor. And do you know why? Because nothing is wasted. Every bit of your life is used. It is used for your advancement and it is used for the advancement of others. The advancement of your children, your family, even strangers. I impact strangers because of the things that my mom instilled in me. A couple of weeks ago, I was able to speak to the Women Empowerment Cell at the University of Delhi in New Delhi, India. And as I was talking to those young ladies, I just kind of had an out-of-body experience. And I just thought, like, my mom, everything she went through, all the struggles she experienced as a child, as a young adult, as a grown woman, I wonder if she knew that her daughter would be speaking and impacting people all over the world. Her struggles, her failures, her pain, her illness served me in ways that I cannot describe. And I am here largely because of what she put inside of me. But at the time, I could not fathom that there were lessons, life lessons, advantages, favor to come out of that situation. And that's just one thing, just because I've talked about that on this podcast, I'm using that as an example. But I just want to remind you again, inform you again, if you've never heard it before, encourage you again, that nothing in your life is wasted. Nothing. And whatever it is you're dealing with or you've dealt with, don't count it as a loss. I have a little bit of an assignment for you. I want you to journal, do some journaling around this. Even if you're not into journaling, let this be something that you journal about. And I want you to think about some of the hardest, most painful things that you have gone through in your life in the past, right? That you can extract some lessons and some blessings out of. I want you to get intentional. Like, forget whoever you're mad at. Forget whoever hurt your feelings, whoever betrayed you, whoever abused you, whoever did anything wrong to you. Like, if it's a person in that situation, I want you to, if you can, erase the face of that person and just think about the situation. Even though I know a lot of these things are connected to people, but just think about the situation that happened and think about what it taught you. Now, there's a whole nother part of this where you can do what that person taught you, but let's just focus on the situation, on what it taught you. Good, bad, or indifferent. What did it teach you? What lessons did it have for you? Maybe then you were so deep in it, you couldn't see it. And maybe you put it in the back of your mind and maybe you're still angry or bitter about it. But let's think about how it's being used in your life right now. You will be surprised on the lessons that you have gotten, knowingly or unknowingly, that you are moving forward differently in your life now because of the lessons you got. Now, I'm not talking about the scars that you got or maybe the hurt and now you are angry or bitter because of how you were hurt. I'm talking about the positive things out of it. Let's say you went through a divorce, okay, or an ugly breakup, and you were just upset and didn't know how you would make it on your own, and you just didn't think you would survive. But now maybe you're on your own. Maybe now you're doing just fine. Maybe you didn't think you'd be doing fine, but you're doing just fine. Maybe you found independence in a way that your heart has always longed for, but you didn't know how you would get it, and you didn't want to get it this way, but it ended up that way. That's just an example. So let's extract some lessons out of what we have gone through and understand that no matter what it is we've dealt with in our life, it is being used or it will be used for your favor and for your advantage as building blocks, as stepping stones, as things that can get you to the next level. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You have not been thrown to the wolves. You, my dear, are in class. Recognize that and take the necessary notes that you need to get you to the next level. So that's it for today's episode. If my content has been helpful or inspiring and you'd like to support my work, I'll always say yes to a cup of coffee. The link is in the show notes. Remember that I love you, I see you, and I want you to win. Talk to you next week. Bye for now. I know firsthand how challenging this personal development journey can be. It can feel lonely, confusing, overwhelming, and even difficult to know exactly where to start. That is why I created an amazing resource for you. Go to imachie.com to download a free audio training that discusses the top 2 things you should focus on as you begin or continue your journey to shifting your mindset. Yep, only 2 things. I like to keep it simple and actionable. Again, that's imachie.com. And also, if you enjoyed today's episode, I have a favor to ask of you. My goal is to get this podcast in front of as many women as possible. The things I discuss are the things I wish someone would have told me when I began this journey. So in order to do that, please take a few seconds to share this episode with a friend and leave a 5-star review. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified when I release new episodes. I love you, I see you, and I'm rooting for you. Bye for now.